us all think. Hopefully, you guys are doing great this morning. I am doing pretty good. Thankfully, I'm getting a full breath of air, and that's a nice thing. And uh, I had a great day yesterday, and today is even going to be better because, every day's great, especially deciding how you decide to walk through it now, isn't it? So, this is for the chosen ones today. Today's the Lion's Gate, and this is for the ones who've been breaking the cycles. Excuse me. And you know who you are. So, Grand Rising, you chosen ones. And how's it going? Love y'all. But I don't need to call your name because you've known since the day you were born into this storm. You were placed in families that didn't even see you. They didn't honor you and they didn't hold your light, but they felt it. They felt something ancient walk into the room when you walked in there. And they didn't know what to do with that. So they rejected it. That's why so many of the chosen, we came out of these rejected situations and very much traumatized families. You know, we came from mothers who were too broken to see your soul. Fathers who turned cold when they sensed your power, and siblings who mocked the very light that you couldn't understand. They just didn't understand you. See, uncles who even crossed the lines, and aunts and who whispered lies, grandparents who were supposed to be safe but weren't not, cousins who laughed with the abusers and flew with the flying monkeys themselves. You were born into the system, within the system, the family system, one of the most dangerous prisons of all of them. And it's okay. We understand that. They call it the scapegoating. But let's go a little further than that. The scapegoat in narcissistic families isn't the weakest. No. Scapegoat is the seer, the one who can't lie, the one who feels too much, knows too much, and says the thing that no one else dares to say. They kind of point out the pink elephant in the room. This doesn't feel right. They'll say that. Why are we pretending? Why won't anyone talk about this abuse? And suddenly, you become the problem. You were gaslit because you were broken. You were gaslit because you were clear. They tried to make you believe you were broken. See, the system tried to teach you to respect it, that respect is owed to elders, even when the elders were the very source of your trauma. And they said forgive, but never showed you how to heal. They said stay silent so they wouldn't have to face what they did in the dark. See, you chosen ones were the ones who broke the code. See, you saw the unspoken and you said, no more. I ain't putting up with this BS anymore. See, trauma is passed through generations, but so is memory, cellular memory. See, you came here not to just survive abuse, but to transmute it. See, your nervous system became a battlefield, and your brain rewired itself to survive. But here's what the system never explained to you. And they never even expected it either from you. That you would awaken. You would remember. See, you would not only survive, but you would alchemize pain into prophecy. No matter what these families and these peoples did to you. See, this is spirituality in disguise. You were always an angel in disguise. And they knew. All they knew, they knew who you were. They knew when they looked in your eyes. That's why the attacks came so early at such a young age. It's why you were placed in so much trauma. See, your spirit revealed their shadows before you could even speak. Your tears cracked the illusions. Your joy was too radiant and your vision too piercing. So they tried to shut you down before you ever rose. But they forgot. They forgot you were made to resurrect. You were designed to rise. Hi, Dennis, how you doing? See, you were dropped into the matrix to break it, guys. See, this earth is a prison system ruled by false authorities, archons, parasites of the soul, and how do they keep control? By hijacking the family structure. That's why you grew up in so much trauma and so much abuse. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Great to see you this morning. See, they feed off these cycles of shame. You know, secrecy, silence. They isolate the light bearer and then send the guilt. The flying monkeys, we call them. The fear program. But guess what, guys? You fucking cracked it. You're not in the cycle anymore. You're the breaker of the bloodlines, the originals, the reclaimer of truth, the embodied rebellion. But you're rebelling in a good way. In nature, did you know it's always known? That's why you felt so comforted by nature. You know, it's why you felt so comforted. See, the snake, it sheds its skin, right? The lion returns to the pride after walking alone. And the phoenix, you know, burns so she can rise. And the stars fall just before they shoot. And you, child of creation, you're no longer becoming. You already are. So breathe. Deep again. See, you are the answer they tried to bury. You are the mirror they tried to shatter. You are the prophecy made flesh. And you are not black sheep. You are the gold flame. You didn't lose your family, you were reborn beyond them. So you're not just healing. You're resurrecting. You're resurrecting the system from the inside out. And you're going through a real rough period, man. We all do, man. I've been going through some rough periods too. My body was trying to shut me down, and doctors told me I was between a coma and death. Do I look like that to you? Mindset, man. Mindset. You know, I get the battles. Like, the system will try and tell you all kinds of things, but you got to decide that, hey, let's know the truth. So remember this, okay? You're not just healing, guys. You're resetting the system from the inside out. So rise with this lion, these lions. Stand with the ancestors. Open the gate and roar the truth. Because you were hidden for a reason, guys. And now it's your season. It's the Lion's Gate. And you're no longer waiting for permission. You're becoming what they said you would never be. You are the chosen. You are the code. You are the key. And don't any of you forget about that. All right, let's check out your comments. Unless they just are not of any importance, then I'm not going to even respond to that. This is so true. I'm trying to trust the universe more. Okay, let me put it simple, you guys, okay? You are the universe. Everything's in you. So you're trusting you. Do you trust yourself to understand that this is nothing but a bullshit illusion? And it's doing everything to create a fear and mess around it. I start to laugh at shit. I literally laughed at my doctor because the funny thing was the guy took all this tests before I went across the country to Michigan, and I felt like crap. Don't get me wrong, I felt like crap. There was a few times, I mean, my adrenals were like, holy shit, I didn't think they're crashing. And I had to meditate and focus them back and everything. I had to get down some adrenals. And I get back, and it turned out they've been trying to get a hold of me the whole time. And they're like, you're between coma and a death. Like, your adrenals are collapsing. And then I get these, I go, I probably have a lawsuit on my hand right now because I go to get this MRI and everything turns out to be a mess. But the funniest fucking thing was I show up and they're expecting me to have a trach and me being paralyzed from the neck down, guys, because seriously, my MRIs, I'm broken. I should not be walking. Or breathing or any of those things. And the moment I believe that, I start to have I can't breathe. I start to feel this pain in my body, and then it's like, I can't move. So stop believing this stuff. Just laugh at it. Who really? I'll never forget the doctor tried to tell me I was going to be paralyzed from the neck down. I looked right up and I said, fuck you. I'm walking the fuck out of here. And that was it. I walked out eventually. You still go take my MRIs. Wow. I never believed it, and they finally made me look at them. And my bones are, I'm crushed. My body's a mess. But I just say, no, you're not. Get up, you're good. Just brush it off, it's flesh wound, you're fine. It's like, if you guys see Monty Python, the... Get back here, it's just a flesh wound. I can bite you. What worked for me to shift my mindset? I died. Yeah, you know what? That really did it. Being put in hospice, guys. That's quite a trip, And I experienced it. It was hands-on, and lifetimes of life flashing before me, and I know what it is. It's not even, how do I explain it? For people, it's an understanding. For me, it's a fact. Everything is within me. And at first it's scary as frickin' heck. Think about it. You're like, wait a sec. You mean there's no external God that I thought there was this entire time? And everything's there in me? And I'm a spark of that divine creation. The existence, the architect of all architect. And I have those abilities. And I designed this existence in front of me. And I allowed this existence I've gone through, and I continue to allow this existence before me. So, I used to be, dude, I was so religious. The biggest stage I stood on to preach was 10,000 people. I had front row seats in the biggest churches in America. I was honored guest. I had secret words I could say at the doorway to the church, and I would be brought to the very front. When I returned, after, it took me 2.5 years before I just went, here's the truth. Here's what I experienced. Because it was scary, man, to come back and how do you explain this? That they're even part of the problem. They're part of the prison. They're the demerge, the opposite system. And that's all your friends. And even I had family. My youngest son was involved with that. And you imagine the rumors, the things that are spoken by religious people when you now become a heretic, or whatever they want to call you. I was religious. No longer. Not at all. I know that you are the prisoner and the prison guard. And I know creation is womb. And they emasculated this world. So opposite. Anyways, you guys, make sure you do one thing towards your dreams every single day. It brings you one step closer. Make sure you recognize you are valuable and you matter, and you are all unique puzzle pieces, a part of the ultimate puzzle, the cosmos. Hang in there. Peace and love. See you guys. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Nope, today's Friday. We'll see you guys Monday. Peace out.